All right, what I've got today is the 2016 residential trimmer lineup from Stihl, just the gas-powered models. I can do battery and electric later. But so we've got the FS38, 40C-E, 50C-E, and 56RC-E. So big differences, and I'll go into specifics with each model here in a bit. But the 38, you're running 0.87 horsepower. You have a short shaft, the AutoCut 5-2 head, standard choke, standard recoil, your base model. Moving up to the 40, you're running 0.94 horse, so you're getting a bit more power. The Easy Start recoil, still running a short shaft, also the Easy Start choke system. Moving up to the FS50, you're running a pretty substantial jump on this guy. You're running 1.1 horse. You do have the longer shaft, although it's still curved, not straight, just extended curved. Also has the Easy Start, it's like the 40, and the choke system. Another feature this one has is comes standard with the Easy Spool head on there, which I can show you here in a minute. And lastly, we have the 56RC-E. This is the straight shaft model. The power heads on these two, the 50 and the 56, are actually the exact same. So you're running 1.1 horse, same power head, but you're getting the loop handle straight shaft with the commercial head on there with the gearbox. So let's take a closer look at each one. All right, so here on the FS38, you've got your safety or your kill switch right there. I is ignition, O is off. If you have a strap, you do have a loop right there you can hook the strap into, though it doesn't come standard with one. Your choke system, choke on, choke off. Primer bulb there. Obviously, the 2-cycle goes in here. Air filter's right under here. Spark plug, not a whole lot to it. Comes standard with the AutoCut 5-2 head. I already did a video, I'll link it here. So if you need to see how to feed those, I can show you that. My personal opinion on these machines, they're not bad. I'm not a huge fan. They're, they're a Stihl product, so they run well and they last a long time. You get a comparable off-brand at Lowe's or Home Depot, and it's definitely going to go out on you sooner. The biggest problem we have on these is not the products themselves, it's the customers leaving fuel in there. So that's not a Stihl issue by any means. Most of the Stihl lineup we sell are made right here in Virginia Beach. Some of the Pro models are actually German, battery powered, or Austrian, I believe. But this model in particular is Chinese. It's not necessarily a bad thing, actually. The products from China have actually advanced quite a ways in terms of quality. I do find myself adjusting the carburetors on these a little more often than the other models. Sometimes they need a little tweaking, but other than that, we have no issues. The factory over there does a good job. But just being that they're made in China, I kind of do like to go one step up to the FS40, which is made here in Virginia Beach. Let's move on to the next guy. All right, here we have the FS40C-E. The C stands for a comfort feature, and the specific one this comes with, the E, is the Easy Start. So I'll show you that here in a second. On this guy, we have a kill switch right here. This guy is spring-loaded. So it's always in run. You just hold it there for a second when you shut it down. Definitely pretty handy. I find myself at work occasionally trying to start a machine with the ignition in the off position, and I flood it, and then you got take the spark plug out, clear the cylinder. So having that's definitely handy. You also have the loop there if you have a strap. Coming back here, the Easy Start, the E. That's the recoil assembly and choke combined. So on this recoil, it's actually a ratcheting system. You add energy in, and it's just going to store it up until it can overcome compression in the cylinder and release all at once. So it's much easier to pull the rope on these. I find these to be pretty popular if our customers have shoulder issues or generally just don't quite have the ass to get a good pull in on a regular one. Nothing against the elderly, but they definitely sometimes could use a hand. If they're still doing the yard themselves, definitely more power to them. But this is a feature that would definitely be appreciated in those that have some smaller arms maybe. But so let me demonstrate. You can see it's much springier, so we can just come up smooth. So it's much easier to start. I don't have gas in this guy. I'm not going to put gas in it, or else I'd demonstrate for you. I'll show you on a different machine some other time. So there's that. You have your primer bulb back there. Your choke on this one is going to be different than the 38. This is spring loaded, so you have to press down to get it. That's normal run there, all the way up. Oh, I'm holding the thread. There, all right. So all the way up is choke. There's also a middle setting here, which is kind of like a partial throttle, half choke. On trimmers, I don't find myself using this setting. Just like the FS90 that I use here, I don't find myself using the start setting. I usually set these on the ground, and I just hold the throttle with my hand. Also on the choke, if you set the choke to choke or half choke and you touch the gas, it automatically turns off. That can definitely come in handy because you don't have to give it as many pulls. So if I turn the choke on your standard two-stroke, you give it a few pulls with choke on, it'll sputter and die. You turn the choke off and then it'll actually start. On these ones with choke on, give it a pull when it stutters and kind of sputters before it dies. If you just tap the gas, it'll turn that choke off, the machine will stay running, so less overall pulls. This is a short shaft like 38, and also comes standard with the AutoCut 5-2. Alright, moving on. So now we've got the FS50 C-E. This is the machine with the 1.1 horse, so it's quite a pretty big jump in power going from 0.94 to 1.1. Also, this is the guy with the longer curved shaft. It's going to have the same easy start feature, spring-loaded kill switch there, same choke assembly as the 40 that I just showed you, and easy start recoil. So easier to get that guy going. The big difference other than power and shaft length is going to be the easy spool head. So respooling these ones, I didn't do a video on it. There's no need for a video. It's so damn simple. When you're on a string, you just line the arrows up. You stick a piece of string in this side, piece of string in this side, and then, well, I don't want to set this on the ground and get it dirty, but this guy actually turns when you have two hands free. Fuck it. You get the idea. This thing ratchets and it pulls the lines in, so you don't have to take anything apart. If you're one of those people that just cannot, for the life of you, restring a trimmer head, definitely a good option. It's available as an option on all of their trimmers. They have commercial ones as well as the residentials, but for the other trimmer models, it has to be purchased separately. This is the only one that comes standard with it. So moving on. All right, here we have the 56RC-E. All right, so the E, the easy start system, the same. This is the exact same power head as the 50. Same features, spring-loaded here, choke with the auto off, easy start recoil. The R in the model number is this handle here. So it's the loop handle. This particular model also comes as the FS56C-E, which is a similar machine, but it is a bike handle setup. Honestly, if you have brush heavy enough to need a bike handle, go with like at least the FS90. If you have really heavy stuff, even the 130 is kind of my preferred go-to, running 1.9 horse. So that's the loop handle. This is the straight shaft machine, and comes with the AutoCut 25-2, only residential one that comes with it. So this is our commercial head, much heavier duty. Also, you notice it's got the 95 thousandths line in there. Stihl color codes their line, so the green is 80 thousandths, the orange is 95 thousandths. The red that I like to use is 105 thousandths. You can put that in here as well. All right, so that's the lineup there. Now, the ones that I like, the 56. If you've used nothing but curved shaft machines, try a straight shaft. You got a buddy that has one, you'll never go back. It is so much handier to use, more convenient. It's not an effort, getting up on edge, going sideways to do some edging. even going around obstacles, if you got fence lines or bushes, getting in underneath. If you grab a curved shaft machine, so if I got a fence, I'm trying to go underneath the fence line, you know, I'm constantly hitting the fence with that part of the shaft. So you grab a straight shaft, and you don't have that problem as much. Also, you're getting a heavier duty cutting head. With the gearbox on there, you can put the blades like I did in my FS90 blade video, the 4-tooth and the 8-tooth cutting blades, you can put those on this machine. Overall, it's just much easier, much more convenient. You know, it's kind of like, let's look at car manufacturers. Chevy makes, well, they made like, I don't even know what they make a Cavalier anymore, but they made Cavaliers in the past. They also make the freaking Corvette. So a lot of times my customers will come in and they'll, you know, buy a FS38 and think it's, you know, the heaviest duty commercial machine ever made. It's just not the case. You know, they make entry-level machines, which are quite a bit better than most entry-level machines regardless. But still, it's an entry-level machine. It's not going to be the beast that you think it is. That, and also, you know, there are different sized people in the world. So we gotta make kind of trimmers for different sized people. It is not easy for a taller person to use this machine. You're gonna be constantly bending over. It's gonna be a pain in the ass, and you're not gonna have a good time. Not necessarily that you're gonna be having a good time trimming anyway, but you want it to be as easy as possible. So do yourself a favor, go with the straight shaft. Like I said, it's less than $100 more expensive, and it's money well spent. You know, running these machines, you're getting quite a bit more power, the 1.1 horse. Just overall, it's a much better buy, in my opinion. You know, I get people coming in bitching that, you know, they bought a trimmer and, you know, they hate it because they're always bending over. So, well, I tell you, don't buy the little curve shaft that's made for someone that's this tall. You know, if you're, I'm 5'9", and I use a straight shaft, and I would never go back to a small curve shaft trimmer like I used when I was a kid, you know. Doesn't matter how tall or short you are, the straight shaft is the way to go. So, that's my video for the day. Have a good one, humans. I guess I should say, any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. No, have a good one, humans. Fuck it.